What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the latest episode of Survive, the show where we take 4 fictional characters and pit them against each other in a battle to keep you alive. For anyone that is new to the channel, welcome. Keith and Lorcan, part-time watchers, how you doing?
Hi guys, how you doing again? Nice to meet you, formally. Nice to meet you. I hate that. Nice to meet you.
Do people say that?
Yeah, that's why people are after me, because I've started the trend of nice to meet you in the world of COVID, and they're just like, that term is just so awful that we're all going to come after you. Bar one person is just like, I think it's nice and I'm going to protect you. And that's the premise of this episode of Survive. Meet you.
Yeah, so you told all 4 of these people that nice to meet you, and they all decided, I'm going to kill that asshole.
And I didn't even BCC them. I CC'd them, so I broke all the GDPR rules as well. So people, so now all these people have each other's emails, and they're like, oh, this is a massive inconvenience and a big breach of my privacy. And then also the meet you part. Maybe it's the GDPR part they're after me for, but I like to think it's the meet you part, because I don't feel like I'm incompetent. Maybe just awful.
Who would have thought that these characters would want to kill you because of GDPR?
Yeah, I know. It's a crazy world we live in, 2020 and all that jazz. GDPR for life.
GDPR.
Make sure you're compliant, guys.
Absolutely. Well, once you're in Europe, I guess the people
I
in the US
suppose once you're in Europe,
yeah.
People in America don't even know what we're talking about. They're like, what is this GDPR? What is privacy, guys?
Yeah, we just share data with everyone.
Is that not normal?
Let's get into this episode. So if you are new to the channel, like we said, welcome to the channel, first of all. We have loads of other episodes of Survive up on this and our weekly podcast, so go ahead and check those out. Subscribe to the channel for more videos just like this one, and give the video a like before you even listen, because, it helps and be sound. Why not?
Yeah. Sure.
Let's get into this week's episode. So this week, we have 4 absolutely badass female characters that are going to be in the small abandoned town trying to keep you alive and trying to kill you. Situation, let's put it down for everyone who might be new. We have 24 hours in a small abandoned town. Lorcan done something stupid, so one of them is trying to keep him alive. Exactly, sent a bad email, broke GDPR. Lorcan, Lorcan is being kept alive by one of them, while the other 3 are trying to hunt him down and kill him and finish him and end him. So we're going to argue for the next couple of minutes to see who we think out of these 4 characters we would choose to keep us alive, while the other 3 try and hunt us down, and have a bit of a titter-tat about which one we would pick. Lorcan, you can go first. So first up, we have Lorraine from Atomic Blonde, Charlize Theron character number 1. We have the Bride from Kill Bill. We have Black Widow herself. And we have Furiosa from Mad Max.
Number 2.
Charlize Theron, number 2, yes.
Number 2.
So these 4 characters, and one of them is trying to keep you alive, while the other 3 are trying to hunt you down. You have 24 hours to try and stay alive. Who are you going with?
So I feel like Lorraine, is it, from Atomic Blonde?
Lorraine, yeah.
I feel like Lorraine is a good choice, but, famously, like we discussed before, Lorraine has one job in one of her films as well, to keep someone alive, and she doesn't do it. So I'm reluctant to say I'll go with Lorraine. I think on this one, I'm going to go with Black Widow. I think this one is one of the more evenly matched, a bit like our spy episode from before. I feel like this is very evenly matched across the board. I feel like between the Bride and Furiosa, we have 2 forces of nature, really. Probably more so the Bride than anyone else, where I feel like you can't nearly kill her. She's like a boogeyman who just comes after you as well. But again, like all my cowardly strategies, I'm trying to figure out someone who cannot necessarily take everyone else out, but can sufficiently hide me for a long enough period of time and get away with it, and then maybe take out 1 or 2 characters on the way. So I'm going to go with Black Widow. I think Black Widow would be able to, I suppose, find the location for me, blend in, there's no one else in this town, it's abandoned, blend in, but we're hats, you know what I mean? Like that's how we'll stay hidden. And people are like, well, that's not obviously them, they're wearing hats, that's not the person we're looking for. The person we're looking for doesn't have a hat. So, she'd keep me sufficiently hidden over that period of time. Plus she's also a badass assassin as well. Like she'd jump up and grab someone by the neck with her legs and spin around and, throw them on the ground. That's what she likes to do.
Like all good badass assassins do, huh?
Yeah, exactly. And again, like, she is a murderer as well, so she will aim for the head and try and kill. Actually, all these women are murderers. Kill Bill, the Bride from Kill Bill is more of a serial killer than a murderer, we'll say. There's a little bit more malice with her as well. And I think the fact that it comes with a katana sword, is a little bit off-putting. But yeah, like again, there's between Atomic Blonde, Lorraine, and Black Widow are the only two kind of trained assassins. The other ones are forces of nature, and I feel like while they're so kind of intimidating and just absolutely mental people, I think you could shoot them in the head from a while away. And I think the only real battle is between Lorraine from Atomic Blonde and Black Widow. But Lorraine from Atomic Blonde, as we've discussed before, will not keep you alive. A Black Widow may keep you alive. I know in her own film, she's let people die before, I'm sure, as well, and she's let people down. But we don't know that for certain. So I'm gonna go with Black Widow in this. I'm curious to know where you stand on this.
Oh, I think there's a clear winner here. I would 100% be going for the Bride.
Really?
You're definitely taking the route of like keep you alive, whereas I'm taking the route of absolutely murder everyone else.
She is like, again, I don't think she's particularly skilled with a gun. She's really skilled with a katana, and I feel like the other three actually, to be honest with you, because Furiosa has that whatever sniper rifle that she can fire with her robot hand. and yeah, like I feel like a sword isn't going to do it in a gun battle. I don't know.
But you see, like if you're going off the rules of like each one of them in their own universe, like the Bride can 100% flick away a bullet. Like she definitely can.
Deadpool,
she definitely can
too.
Absolutely, yeah. Like I don't know how you can watch the scene. And I don't know if it's part 1 or part 2 where she takes out all the crazy ADDICTs.
Part 1.
Like that room,
it's
where
crazy.
It's absolutely insane. There's there's so many assassins that come at her, and it's her and a katana versus all of them, and she just absolutely ruins them. She wrecks shop. So you're telling me
no one has a gun?
Yeah. But you're telling me that you think any of these three can take her on after watching that scene?
No, I don't think anyone would take her on head to head. I think Black Widow would figure out a way to stealth her. She'd have to. I don't think anyone takes on the Bride head to head. No one does. Like she's just chopping them up. She's chopping up their little legs, Keith. Like all their little legs.
Hey, call back to last week's episode, huh?
She's chopping off all their little legs. But no, again, no one takes her on in like, I don't know, like a head to head. But is there a way, Black Widow could get a bomb or a stun, something, and just take her out that way? Like, again, I think the Bride by far is the most overpowered here, and I think she could do a job. But like, I just think that the two assassin characters could get to her from a distance. They'd have to. And maybe even Furiosa would have gone. But I think she's the weakest. Like, I think Furiosa just wouldn't do a job. I think the other three would kill Furiosa very easily.
Yeah, I think Furiosa, if you're like, we're thinking small abandoned town. Maybe the town is like a Mad Max style rundown town. Like, she's pretty badass in that kind of world.
She's good as a marksman, but like, again, two trained assassins should be able to sneak up on a marksman. And I don't think she's doing anything hand to hand against those two. And definitely, if the Bride gets within 100 meters of her, she's dead.
Yeah, and what Atomic Blonde, for example. Yeah, Lorraine from Atomic Blonde, for example, she's much more hand-to-hand combat, and like she'd absolutely get her ass kicked versus the Bride. And like even with Black Widow, I mean, she's sneaky and she's got all her spy things, but I don't think she's like sniping anyone. Like, that's not really her style.
Maybe not sniping, but maybe she's like a good 100 meters away from the Bride, and she can always maintain that difference and try and.
But think of all the people
sneaky with a headshot.
Think of all the people that Black Widow has fought that don't use guns that she still hasn't killed.
Yeah, it's
like
true.
The Bride is essentially a version of like an MCU hero that's just unkillable, like for certain parts of her movie. So I don't know. I'm taking her. She's gonna chop each one of them up. She's gonna put their little legs in a box, like you said, and she's gonna throw them away. And she's gonna walk. She's not even gonna make it 24 hours. She's gonna go kill them less than 24 hours, because the Bride is like the Punisher. She's going to go after them. She's not going to be taking you and hiding you somewhere and then like just spending 24 hours in a small room away from people. She's going to be like handcuffing you to her, and she's going to be going off and taking each one of them out one by one, or all three at the one time. She doesn't care. She just wants to get rid of them.
She's poking at eyes.
She doesn't have time for any of this shit. She's got people to kill. She's still got a list going on. Like, this is midway through her list, so this is just inconvenience for her. She just wants rid of you and rid of them.
So in this universe, am I one of not even the 6 people who was at the wedding? I'm the guy who showed up to like do the catering, and then she saw me in her flashback, and I just walked over with the bill, being like, "Hey, Bill, do you want to pay your bill or whatever?" But in your version of this, I think you're the guy who was supposed to take her in the car, and then it's you who's actually helped her out. So she's protecting you, but she's after me. Is that?
Yeah, exactly.
Is that her crime?
That's it. That's what the crime. We figured out what the crime is. I don't know if you've got Black Widow trying to protect you. I don't think she's keeping you safe from the Bride.
I think she's very similar to a James Bond. I think she's good from the bunch we have. Like they're all very. I think Furiosa is the weakest of all of them. Like again, I know where you're coming from, but I think even hand to hand, I think well definitely the Bride. Again, I still haven't seen Tom Blunt. But then Black Widow as well, I feel like could take out Furiosa hand to hand. The sniper is all Furiosa has at her kind of disposal because she is such a good sharpshooter. And like maybe she would be the one who could probably take out the Bride, but only that one chance. And if she messes that up, that Bride's just coming swinging with a katana sword and chops it. So Furiosa has one. Yeah, and like, see, that's the force of nature I'm thinking. The Bride doesn't care. She's not sneaking around. She's standing wide open, and she's like, you take your shot. If you miss, that's it over. Game over. I'm coming for you. So it has to be someone who can miss or who can shoot her. But again, I still think Black Widow could stay away from her for the longest period of time. Like, I don't think the Bride is necessarily that smart that she'd catch her, the whole way through it. But if she does catch her, it's over. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Do you know what? True. Maybe I'll go with you on the Bride on this as well.
No, you can't switch now. You've made your choice. You're on the losing side. Hard luck.
Oh, no.
All right, guys. That is our argument for the day. Our weekly argument on Survive. Let us know down below which of the four you would choose. Obviously, it's going to be the Bride, but just let us know why. Let us know why Lorcan's so wrong in his.
Let's know why Black Widow is actually the obvious choice, because I did not put a good enough case ahead for her. Because he is, he has to be.
Apparently so. And don't forget to check us out on Instagram over there. Every week we will be posting the list of which characters are going to be coming up in the new episodes. So you can vote for them over there. And like the video, subscribe to the channel, all that fun stuff. Hope you enjoyed. And sure, you know what? We'll see you next week.
Bye.
See ya.